The following program is paid for by Beyond the Pink Ribbon. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views of Urban One and its management.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond the Pink Ribbon with your host, Nadia E. Miller. In a world where pink often symbolizes breast cancer awareness, this show stands as a beacon of hope and empowerment. With Nadia at the helm, we embark on a journey of resilience, courage, and unwavering determination.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Praise Indy AM 1310 The Light. My name is Nadia E. Miller, and I could not be more excited to kick off our new radio journey, Beyond the Pink Ribbon. Now, which is going to air every Wednesday from 6 to 6:30 p.m., and we're here to light up your midweek. Look, can you believe it? It's Wednesday. We made it. Now, this is going to be our official greeting for this show. So every Wednesday when I come on, make sure you look around. Look, can you believe it? It's Wednesday. We made it. But hey, before we dive in, let's connect. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nadia E. Miller. Huge shout out to our sponsor that made this possible, DBISP LLC, because in their world, small business equals big results. So if you're tuned in, head over to Nadia E. Miller on Instagram and follow us, or click like or share on Facebook. I want to make sure you're locked in. And oh yeah, guess what? We're also live in the studio, so be sure to go on, send us some love. Feel free to shower us with some questions and concerns, but good vibes only though. That's all we'll take here. Now, I know some of you might be curious about Beyond the Pink Ribbon. Like, what is this all about? Why all the hype? Why do we believe this show is important for our community? Well, let me take you on a journey. It's my journey. Now, this all started with a personal battle of breast cancer, a diagnosis that changed my life. But here's the twist. It's not just my story. It's our story. It's a story of survival, and it's a story of growth. So buckle up, folks, because we're about to embark on a journey of courage, resilience, and triumph. But we're going to do this thing together. So here we go. I was 28 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Man, talk about a whirlwind. I had seen what breast cancer looked like with my older sister, Nita. She died from the disease at the age of around 30. The other thing, though, is there was multiple women in my family that had been diagnosed, and unfortunately, I was well acquainted with the trauma and drama of breast cancer within my family. Although when it happened, I was still like, what is happening? I'm 28, man. I have a 2-year-old daughter. Currently working for a global diagnostic company. I had no idea what was going on and what would happen next. Literally no idea. And it really didn't matter what other people were saying, because at the time, I didn't have anybody to relate to. I had no one to talk to. It was almost like I was a fluke. I was a young black woman going through breast cancer, and everyone that I talked to, the story was, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening to you. Even when I sat in the doctor's office, I was hearing words like lumpectomy and mastectomy, and I was hearing all kind of stuff that made no sense to me. But what I didn't hear was, you're going to live. But that's what I wanted to hear most of all. And so what I did was I learned everything I could learn about breast cancer. I learned about my case. I learned about what was going on with other folks that I knew about. I learned everything I could to make sure that I could live, since I didn't hear that I was going to live. So I set my sights on that thing, right? Just living. Over the course of 24 months, I had a double mastectomy. In lay terms, that means I had both of my breasts removed. I'll spare you all the gory stories because I had other proactive surgeries that would just lower my risk factor of the cancer returning. I endured a year of chemotherapy. Now, yes, it was completely difficult. Like, I'll just be honest with you and transparent. It was one of the most difficult things in my life, and I would offer and argue that it changed the trajectory of my life. So much so I'm sitting here with the show Beyond the Pink Ribbon. But as it was, I still needed to understand this disease and what was going on, for what it meant for my family, what it meant for my daughter. After a couple of years went by, I began to speak and teach for national breast health organizations. I was still unsatisfied, though. I was still unsatisfied that I thought women of color were still not being seen and they weren't being heard, and that I felt like they weren't getting the information that they needed to make informed decisions. Now, I have siblings. There's 5 of us, to be a matter of fact. I would like to be the oldest, but I'm not. So I'll just, to spare my age for you all, I'm somewhere in there. But they still call me baby girl. I talked to my brother about these things. His name is John Miller. I talked to him about what was going on and what I seen and how uncomfortable I was. And it began the birthing process of an organization called Pink Forever. Now, my brother created an organization in 2005 where we could actually control our narrative. We could control what was happening to black and brown and beige people. We could create imagery that people could see people like us and understand that we were not just a group, but we were an organization out here that was within the community and really willing to fight for the things that were necessary. And the number one necessity was to live. As years went by, most recently, a couple of years ago, we acquired another organization that was known as the Red Alliance. And now today, here we sit. We are known as Pink Forever, Ending Disparities. Don't worry, you'll hear more about that organization as we move on. Everything that happened within my journey tonight, I am a 17-year breast cancer survivor. I have the privilege to host a show to talk to you all about going beyond that diagnosis. My story of breast cancer, it was not a death sentence. I'd offer you all that it might have gave me a new lease on life. So whatever your story, whatever your journey, whatever your diagnosis, know that you can move beyond a traumatic experience. It's almost like navigating through a storm, right? It's tough and it's scary, and you find yourself with just a little bit of hope that, oh man, I might just make it through this thing. And so you keep pushing forward, this like step by step. It's like realizing that even though the storm might have shaken you to your core, but it didn't break you. It's like that's where the magic happens, right? It's like realizing your own strength and resilience in it. You feel all good inside. That's what it's like. It's about taking small steps every day, even when it feels like you're barely crawling to make it. But you know, eventually you'll find a way. You'll find a way out. And then I'll be honest with you, you're really never alone in this life, but it is a journey. And so you got to find people. You got to surround yourself with folks that are there to lean on and listen to. And you have to try to remember to balance it between your fear and your faith. All the while, you got to mind your mind. So we have to thrive together. Beyond the Pink Ribbon would not be possible without our sponsor, DBISP LLC. With them, explore innovative solutions. You can find them at www.dbispllc.com and transfer your operations from cutting-edge software development to strategic IT consulting. Man, they've got you covered. Experience the future with DBISP LLC. Hey, and go on over there and take a look at them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. DBISP LLC. Thank you. Now, Nadia E. Miller is not only my first and last name, even though it's kind of cool. It's actually a brand. You'll hear people talking about Nadia E. Miller LLC, but it's a brand and it is a vibe. It provides empowerment and leadership. Under the umbrella of our company, it offers a myriad of services from leadership coaching to consulting, and business development. Guess what else? I have a super soft spot for empowering women in leadership. Because here at the Nadia E. Miller Company, we believe in unlocking the full potential of every individual, especially female leaders. Now, again, I'm going to be with you for a while every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 6:30. So to hear more about those programs, I want you to head on over to www.nadiaemillerllc.com. And you'll learn all you need to know about that. And don't worry, I'll bring it back up for weeks to come. Now, enough about me. Now, I've told you a little bit about me personally, my breast cancer story. I've told you a little bit about my professional life. And all of that wrapped up into why we are here today with Beyond the Pink Ribbon. So what you can expect from our show every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 6:30, you can expect creating conversations beyond life struggles, stress, or issues. You ever know how every time you turn around, there's a negative Nathan or a negative Nancy, and they've got some crazy, daunting story about the woes of life? Not this show. This show, I promised that we are going to bring some people, some community partners, experts, the medical community, and more about how to go beyond your situation to live life. We're going to dive into real stories, lifestyle changes, and celebrations of real resilience. And it goes beyond the traditional narrative of surviving, but you are surviving. And that's what this is going to be about, going beyond the pink ribbon, beyond your diagnosis, beyond mental struggles, beyond the kids. We're going to go beyond here, and we're going to talk about living. And when you're living and how you're living, it matters. It starts with mindsets and actionable items. This is not a quick fix type thing I'm talking about. I'm saying it because I'm living it with you. Every day when I wake up, I go beyond the pink ribbon in my lifestyle, in my community, who I surround myself with, who I'd allow to speak to me. That's right. Who I allow to speak to me, speak through me. There's bumpers. You guys are going to learn really quickly that I love slogans, and we're going to have a couple of them. So when you see me on the streets of Indianapolis, just yell, "Look!" I'll know what you're talking about. At any rate, back to what you're going to get from Beyond the Pink Ribbon. I'm going to make sure I bring you folks in the community that you want to hear from. I'm going to bring you activities and things that are going on that you're going to want to go to, and then you're going to want to bring a friend and share with a friend. This is not a talk show where we're just going to sit up and listen to me talk, even though I think I got a pretty cool voice. But that's not what this is going to be about. I want you to come back, and I want you to get involved and get engaged and support this initiative where so many people will have a platform to not just share their stories, but this is about business. This is about resolve. This is about how we continue to live this thing called life. And so I want you all to do that with me. I see you all on live. Hi there, everyone. I can't do two things at once. Those that you know me personally, so I'll get back with you later. But if you leave me a comment, I promise somebody from our camp, from our team, is going to get back with you. But right now, I'm going to continue focusing on what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. One of the things that I am going to make sure that we do every single week, I've got something special for you next week, but this show is about telling you what you're going to hear on this show every week. And I believe in power moves, anybody that knows me. So this show is going to have a highlight every week where we do a pink power play. I'm going to share with you what mine is, and then I want you to run out to one of our platforms, whether that be Instagram, whether that is Facebook, and I want you to tell me what your power play is. So this week, my power play was rest. I got some sleep. And look, We often forget what getting rest actually will do for your mind. And I say it laughing because those that I have not met, my new listeners, those that know me, we have a tendency sometimes, my camp knows how to run. But I messed around and got some rest. It gave me more clarity, and it gave me a peace of mind. Those of you that are on live, tell me what your power play is. Tell me how you advocated for yourself this week and what you have done for you so that you can be better for other people. I promise I can see you. I just won't be able to talk to you right now. So I want to make sure that we get the layout of this show and you all understand when we come on here that we're going to engage together. This show is about men and women. I do have a special interest, though, in empowering and encouraging women. And I want to make sure that I bring that to the forefront, all the while understanding men, this information applies to you as well. So please tune in. Now, make sure you tune in every week because I love to give things away. Like I love to give stuff away, but you have to follow us on social media and we'll tell you more about that as the weeks go on. But winning is so important in life. So speaking of winning, next month is Women's History Month. All month long, we celebrate women here in Indianapolis or abroad. But next week on this show, the whole month of March, we're going to celebrate women. And we're going to celebrate the history that they're making within their own rights. And we're always going to celebrate them here, just so you guys know. Really believe in that. But hey, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think it's important because winning and celebrating is so important. And one of the things that I realized was that I have, some folks around me and new ones that I have met that I really appreciate. I was overwhelmed today with phone calls and text messages from people congratulating me on the launch of the show. Like, very sincere. And often in our community, we don't see it, we don't get it. We always hear about who's not doing what, but I want to take a moment on this platform to tell you that there are some folks out there that will still cheer for you. There are some folks out there that will still come see about you and make sure that within your endeavors that they're there for you. I have a very strong family, so I won't do this on every show, but I will do it on this show. I thank them. I thank the Miller family. I thank them for their hand claps and their support and what they continue to do for the legacy of the family. I thank my colleagues and my sister survivors as well. So today, through all the text messages and all the love I receive, and for men and women, someone that is very near and dear to my heart that has been in my camp for over a decade showed up with my favorite cake. I love red velvet cake, everybody. Showed up with my favorite cake at the door, and it almost brought me to tears because I realized right there at that moment that the work that has been done and that is being done, that people really, they get it. They may not tell me all the time, or we may not talk about it, but they actually get it. And so I have the pleasure, because she's in the building. She's always in the building somewhere around me. I have the pleasure of introducing to you, and I'll hand her the mic for just a few minutes, to Mrs. Lakeisha Brown. Welcome to the Beyond the Pink Ribbon.
Look, thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a pleasure. Look, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I see everybody online, and everybody is so happy, and I am so happy for them. I am happy that you are here, and this is a big deal for the community as we get into this and the platform that we have to share. So I brought you on. I'm sorry. Look, she's going to do really good.
We wasn't expecting this, you guys.
But I brought you on for one. Let's get right to it. Tell the listeners who you are.
So my name is Lakeisha Brown. I own a business called Brown Key, which you will hear a little bit more down the line in March. However, my position with Nadia E. Miller, I am her manager of her portfolio. So all things Nadia that she touches, I am involved in some type of way. I am also a unicorn. So being a unicorn is definitely a platform where we get to share our stories and share our growth through business and people of excellence in the city. It's a great sisterhood. So if you do not know about the unicorns, please make sure that you go on NadiaEMillerLLC.com to learn more about that program. We do workshops. I mean, we go out, we celebrate big wins, we celebrate small wins, but it is a sisterhood where you can get the hand clap that you are missing, or get a pat on your back, or just told that you're doing the right thing, or just encouraging you to do the right thing if you're not in that right headspace at the time. So, yeah.
So how has, you've been a part of, speaking of the unicorns, we are going to talk more about that, but just to tell everybody what a unicorn is it's a woman in leadership who strives for excellence in all that she does. She is teachable, she is moldable, and she encourages the woman to the left or to the right. Now, this is a program that is launched under Nadia E. Miller, and as Lakeisha stated, we do a lot of things, and we'll talk about that more as we develop in this show. But I wanted to know if you could, just for a second, tell the listeners how that you've been with me and with the program for over 2 years. How has it benefited you in your business and the business that you conduct around Indianapolis, apart from my portfolio?
It has helped me in a way to be about business. So a lot of times when people start business, you don't really know how to go, which way is right, which way is left. You don't know about processes and procedures. So the Unicorn program has definitely taught me to process things in a way, organize them in a way to proceed and go on to the next level in life in general, not just in my business, but in personal as well. So I love the unicorn. Like, we can talk about that all day. And I hope that in this platform that you give them a little bit of something from the workshops, because it's going to be beneficial in your life, in my life, and to continue to grow. So I'm excited.
Well, I want to thank you. Thank you for being on the spot. But thank you, Lakeisha, for joining me. And just so you all know, she'll be back. I will have her back, and as I said when I opened up, I'm going to bring you a lot of community members, folks within the community that are doing things. Hey, unicorns, big shout out to you. I hope to see some unicorns flashing on my page to let you know that absolutely we have a platform about what we are doing, and I hope that more folks go and learn about what we are doing here in the community. So as we close out today's show, I want you all to know that Beyond the Pink Ribbon is for you. It is for us. Beyond the Pink Ribbon is going to continue to provide inspiration, encouragement, and a space and place for individuals that are doing the work in the community and often don't have a platform. But I will share mine with you. I can't say it enough. If you want, make sure that you follow Nadia E. Miller on Instagram and on Facebook. Follow me and keep up with the great team that we have. I want to shout out folks that have been doing things for the last couple of weeks leading up until the launch, and it has been great, and I appreciate you. Jalea Kelly has done a wonderful job. I hope you hear me out there. Thank you for the work that you have done. I'm not a name dropper, but sometimes it's important to give folks their flowers and let them know that you see them. So as we continue on, make sure that you follow us at NadiaEMillerLLC.com. I want to see you there. You can learn about all of the programs. I want to thank our sponsor, DBISP LLC. Be sure to go check them out. They're right here in the community. They're located here in Indianapolis and also have other offices abroad. But I want to thank them for their sponsorship, for believing that we could do this, and they did that. So I want to be sure that you all know about them and make sure how to contact them by following them on their Instagram, their Twitter, and then also Facebook. Be sure to look them up on their website as well. And then to continue to just get involved. Make sure that you get involved. And if you want to become a sponsor of the show, you go to NadiaEMillerLLC.com. Just go to Beyond the Pink Ribbon, and the information will be there for you. So what do I have for you up next week? Up next week, It's Women's Month again, Women in Business. Miss Lisa Hayes will be with us, the Executive Director of Pink Forever. I'm so excited about that. So listen, you all, I look forward to seeing you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Praise ND 13, AM 1310. Nadia E. Miller. We'll see you then.
The preceding program was paid for by Beyond the Pink Ribbon.